Sons of King. Sons of King.
Bless you, brother.
King.
And what is our destiny? To be in this truth. To be in this truth and to make it to the end. As it is written, to finish the work. Like Yahweh Shai said. Have finished the work. You know? The Apostle Paul said the same thing. Henceforth I know there's a crown of righteousness that is laid up for me. Okay, that is our destiny.
But
ye shall be named the priests of the Lord. Men shall call you the ministers of our God. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in that glory shall ye boast yourselves. For your shame ye shall have double, and for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be unto them. For I the Lord love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offering. And I will direct their work in truth. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them. And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, and their offspring among the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which the Lord hath blessed. I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall be joyful in my God. For he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels. For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, and as the garden causeth the things that are sown in it to spring forth, so the Lord God will cause righteousness and praise to spring forth before all the nations.
Sons of King. King.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing this word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of there. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into this lesson, dealing with the images are broken and the return home. Okay, because as we've come to the end of this thing, and the Heavenly Father, has raised up the prophets, and through, the spirit and power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the Lord has used the prophets, to shatter the images, of the beast, this modern Babylon, Babylon the Great, aka Egypt, the Sodom and Gomorrah, which is America, because through America, the elites have enchanted, the earth, to wonder after the beast, you see, because even as we see with these other nations, what they're trying to do, with establishing the New World Order, well, this is nothing but, the biggest rebellion, and the attempt to establish idolatry, in the earth, you see, but the Most High is beginning to confound everything that these devils, all right, are trying to establish. Okay, that was a time when the Lord allowed the devil to prosper. Okay, in his enchantments and his idols. Okay, what through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim al Shai, all right, the Lord has lifted up a standard. Okay, and his word has begun to shatter. Okay, this devil's idols and enchantments, man. Okay. Now, when you go to Jeremiah 51, it says the word of the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldean by Jeremiah the prophet. So the Lord is speaking against this place. Okay, there was a time when prophecy was with this man. You know, when prophecy, all right, was allowing this man to prosper. Okay, and his wickedness on the left hand side. You see, now we're coming to the time where prophecy not with the devil, man. Okay, the Lord is speaking against this man. Okay, so now we're in the time where we're seeing everything is working against this devil and backfiring, man. Okay, and the things that allow him to prosper, well, those things are now causing him to fail. Okay, verse 2, it said, declare you among the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Babylon is taken. And see who's setting up the standard, the prophets. You know, matter of fact, real quick, let's go here. Let's just go here, the book of Isaiah, chapter 13. Okay, 13 and 1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Okay, now prophecy is a burden to Esau. You know, it was a time when prophecy carried this nigga to the top. Now prophecy is a burden against this nigga, man. Okay, it said, lift ye up the banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Okay, so now we're shaking the hand at the nobles. Now the Lord is shaking his hands, all right, at the elites. Okay, and these Edomites and everything that they've established. You know, there was a time when the Lord kept silent. Okay, and the devil had free range. Now the Lord is shaking the hand at this nigga, man, lifting up a standard. Okay, now he's not able to maneuver, all right, unhindered. Okay, as he's trying to pull off this new world order, man. Okay, now prophecy is working against him, man, and the prophets are commentating this nigga downfall, man. You know, it's just happening, man. You know, so let's go back. Let's go here. Let's go back to Jeremiah. Okay. Jeremiah 50 and 2 said, declare you among the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken. Baal, all right, or Baal is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. Okay, so now we're seeing the Lord is beginning to break up the idolatry of Esau, Edom, man. You know, through this technology, okay, everything that he set up, you know, as an enchantment is being confounded. Okay, you know, and mainly you see this AI is being confounded, you know, because this devil, you know, he pushes as if AI, you know, was some idol, some type of deity that was going to, you know, govern the world, you know, take this devil, you know, to places that, you know, the AI was really overhyped. Okay, just like those idols of old was overhyped. You know, through AI, man, we thought that this devil was going to have the earth, you know, like, you know, Star Trek or, you know, some super highly advanced and, you know, efficient and, you know, but nah, man, AI is not capable of doing everything that this devil, you know, promotes it can do, man. Okay, and I don't give a damn what AI he got. We ain't seen. It don't do nothing that great. Okay, because if it did, this nigga had these things established, man. Okay, because this nigga don't got time to waste. Okay, this nigga don't got time to waste, man. This nigga AI, you know, is being confounded. All right, in this war. Okay, we're seeing the AI and all that. Okay, having all this technology. All right, ain't all that, man. It don't work. all right, as well as these devils thought it would, man. Okay. Then AI like the Chat GPT was used to, all right, expose him more, so it worked against him. He had to tweak the chat, to the point to where, you know, chat ain't nowhere near like it used to be. He had to get watered down. Okay, showing you, man, that this devil just don't got all this control. All right, like he once had, man. The Lord is stripping this man. Now Esau is being confounded. Okay, he's being broken apart. Okay, and everything, all these enchantments. All right, one time, being the thug, and see, these things were heavy enchantments, man. These things are wearing off, man. Now you got such thing as black fatigue. Eve was an enchantment, man. Okay, through Eve, this devil was able to ruin, all right, a generation, man, generations. Okay, but now Jake is, doing on something else, man. Even Jake that's not in the truth, man. Okay, but there was an idol that he established. Okay, nigga culture, the nigga woman. Okay, money, people chasing money, people, going, back to the land. People, people are leaving the city lifestyle. A lot of these things that this man set up is being confounded, man. People are trying to grow their own food. People are trying to, people are leaving social media. You see, this is all idolatry of Satan, man, and it's being confounded, man. From the elites down to the common person. Okay, everything is being confounded. You see, and that's the Lord doing this, man, breaking up this devil's, all right, images, man, these idols. Sports, the celebrities, these things don't have the strength that they used to have. People, not watching, sports as much and not idolizing the niggas like they used to. You still gonna have, simpleton is gonna, be in awe with this devil to the judgment, man. Okay, but there's a change in the earth, man, and due to this word going out, man. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go to Exodus, man, because every time the Lord will get ready to deliver us, he will begin to confound the gods, all right, of these heathens to show that they're nothing. See, the Lord is showing that he is. Even right now in prophecy, man, Esau is subjugated to prophecy, man. Okay? Okay, what type of plan this nigga got, how crafty he try to be, and he played both sides. Well, nigga, you're still subjugated to prophecy, man. Okay? Give a damn what type of master plan the elites think they got. Nigga, you're subjugated to prophecy, nigga. That's why we ain't got to keep up with all these stupid ass, dumb ass moves he doing. There's a few things we got to watch this nigga for, man. Okay? And that's the things pertaining to prophecy, man. All this other dumb shit Esau got going on. He's not able to do all that, man. Okay, it's vanity. Why scripture say, why did the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? Why? Because he's subjugated to prophecy, man. Okay, all these fantasies Esau got in his mind, man, this nigga ain't gonna be able to pull this shit off, man. Okay, this nigga subjugated to prophecy, and the Lord's confounding this nigga, man. Okay, Exodus 12:12, for I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, because the Egyptian thought they was God, and they thought they was all right. The Egyptian Pharaoh was hyped up. He was overhyped. Okay, just like the elites, these niggas are overhyped. And the Egyptian had witches and warlocks and magi's, and they can do dark magic. Okay, like this devil, he's tapped in. You see, but he's still overhyped when it comes to the power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Yeah, that's impressive to someone that's not in tune with the Lord. All right. Yeah, that's impressive to these other heathens, man. But to the sons of God, to Yahweh Shema Shai, man, nah, nigga, this you overhyped. Okay, you're not doing nothing great, nigga. You overhyped. And then it was our power that propped Egypt up. The Lord told Pharaoh that, nigga, for the same purpose have I raised thee up. The same thing was told to Esau. For the same purpose, I raised you up to show his power. Okay? So the Most High let this nigga borrow power just so he can get proud, exalt himself, and the Lord can show real power, man. That sum Pharaoh up, that sum Esau up, man. Okay? Nothing great about this nigga. The basis of all men. All right, he's a terrible ruler. Okay? Everything he does brings death and destruction. All right, this nigga has done nothing. This nigga has brought nothing great to the earth, man. Okay, anything that was invented, all right, that made life convenient, this nigga put death in the mix, man. Okay. So now the Lord is confounding Esau, okay, and his gods, which is his money, technology, okay, you know, these anti-Messiah cultures, okay, that he presents as liberty, man. All these things are being confounded. Just like the guys of Egypt, you know, Amun-Ra, what they made was a god, was a sun god, you know, and the Pharaoh supposed to be the son of Amun-Ra. And it was him that the Pharaoh standing by the Nile River, which caused the sun to come up, okay, every morning. And the Most High put a plague of darkness on his ass, okay, and he couldn't, and his sun didn't come up, okay, confounding his dumb ass, man, okay, just like he's gonna do Esau. Esau, all this hype, okay, about the AI can do this and AI general intelligence, AI super intelligence. Nigga, shut up, nigga. You and the AI finna be confounded. And AI not gonna get you out the judgment. Okay? All them different deities that the ancient Egyptians worship, every plague was mocking every god that the Egyptians served, man. Okay? Egypt had a god with a head like a calf, and the Most High plagued their agriculture. Okay? Because they worship the agriculture, they worship the Nile River. The Most High turned into blood. Okay? Everything that these Egyptians worship, the Most High mocked it, man. And that's what the Lord doing now in this time to Esau, man. He's mocking everything that these devils worship, man. Okay? Everything that these devils, you know, promote as some type of idol or some type of God. Okay? Even himself, man, he's being confounded, man. Esau basic as hell, man. Okay? As the Lord started to script this man down, and the closer we get up on this nigga, man, we find out this nigga basic as hell, man. Okay? Not impressed with this nigga, man. Exodus 12 and 13 says, and the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, and this blood represents, you know, Yahushua, you know, because it was the blood of that lamb. And see, now there's a remnant in this time that's covered by their blood, that sacrifice Yahushua made. Okay? It says, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. So there's a remnant that's going to be exempt. Okay, from how the Lord's from the plague Egypt as before. Okay, the Lord from the plague, the new Pharaoh Esau as before. And it's going to be mockery to all right, his idols. You know, everything that this man idolized, the Most High finna make mockery of it, man. He is making mockery of it, man. Okay, like this, like certain things that used to be idolized, like I say, street culture, the nigga woman. Okay, even this man's technology is all being confounded. Okay, it's all being shown to have limitations, wicked, counterproductive. Okay, you see. So nah, man, this devil. Let's go here to Psalms. Let's go to the book of Psalms. This is the book of Psalms 73. I started at 18. It says, surely thou didst set them, and that them is the wicked Esau, Edom, in slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction, man. So Esau was always set up to fail. You know, he was given his power just to get proud and be extremely rebellious against the Most High. So the Most High can show power. He was always set in a slippery place, man. Okay, the Most High was allowing this nigga to exalt himself and to, you know, tap into witchcraft and CERN and the harp and, counsel with demons and, be so far ahead of everyone and play both sides of the war. And, because the Most High wanted this nigga to be proud, man. Okay, like I say, the Most High let this nigga borrow power to become proud just so he can show real power. Okay? Most High made this nigga crafty like that, man. Okay? It says, but it was all right, setting this nigga up for failure, man. Okay? It was all to set this nigga up for complete failure, man. And for the Most High to show that he is. It says, how are they brought into desolation as in a moment they are utterly consumed with terrors, man. Okay? So in the moment, think about it, everything that this man has been done for centuries to get to this point, in a moment, the Lord gonna confound this shit, man. And this nigga gonna be consumed with terrors, man. This nigga gonna be terrified when Yahweh Shai come, man. Okay? Because the elites are cowards any goddamn way. Okay? This man gonna be terrified when Yahweh Shai show up, man. Okay? Everything that this man has built up is destroyed in that short time. Okay, from the infrastructure, okay, to the enchantments, man, because all this is gonna be destroyed. All right, when this nigga is confounded, man. Okay, let's go here. Verse 20. It's the point, as a dream when one awaketh. So, O Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image, man. The Lord despises this devil image, man. Everything about this society that this man has established, the Lord despises, man. And that's why the Lord has given us a grace period, all right, to conform unto him. Because what are we conforming from? From the image of the beast, man. And the Lord allowed us a grace period to what his word is transforming us, all right, to the image of Yahweh Shai. Okay? Away from the image of the beast, man, which the Lord despises, man. All right? He despised the mindset of this place, the belief system. Okay? The darkness, the wickedness, the rebellion, the pride. Okay? The Lord despises all these things, man. The worship of idols, man. Whether you're worshiping, technology, money, attention, clout. Okay? You worship women or, whatever you worship, man, that's outside of the Most High is an idol, man. Okay? So let's go here. Because the Lord gave us, things to be enjoyed, man, but we're not supposed to worship these things, man. Esau pushes you to worship these things, man. To be obsessed with these things, man. Okay, which is off. You see? So let's go back to Jeremiah 50. This is Jeremiah, all right, 50. I read 2 again. It said, declare you among the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, man. And this is Russia, man. Okay? This is Russia, and we know Russia's going to have, those allies. All right. The Lord has built, okay, a war machine that's going to humble Babylon. Okay. And how is Babylon going to be humbled? By being completely annihilated, which shall make her land desolate with those missiles, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast, man. So, yeah, outside of the elect, the entire population of Babylon, America, okay, you see, it's gonna be unalive, man. And this place gonna be desolate, man. Ain't gonna be no infrastructure here, man. Everything is gonna be melted, turned to powder. Okay. The Lord's going to turn American infrastructure to a desert with people in it. Okay, that's the lake of fire. That's going to be the results of the lake of fire. This place being a perpetual desert, man. You know, Jeremiah 50:4 says, in those days and in that time, said the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah, the northern and southern kingdom. All right, the children of Judah together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah their power. Okay, you see that? This is what we're doing now. Okay, as the Lord is prepping, to destroy this place is being confounded. Okay, this man is in a slippery place, and Esau is moving like a man trying to keep his balance, but he can't. Okay, like a drunk man that's staggered in his own vomit, man. All this BS this man has established as a culture, which is vomit. Okay, he's staggering in it, man. All this chaos he's causing around the world, confusion and never-ending wars. Now he's staggering in his vomit, man. Okay, verse 5 said, they shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. Okay, in a perpetual covenant. You see, and that's the new covenant that we're coming into at the return of Yahweh Shai. But it begins with us repenting and seeking our power. And as we seek our power, man, these enchantments begin to fall off us, man. These idols don't have, that the impact that it had at once, man. We begin to seek our power, all right, and it's leading to us being delivered, okay, us being changed, which is the new covenant, man. Okay, so the Lord has established a grace period, before he destroys America, before he destroys Esau, Edom's, all right, rulership, remove this man from power along with these other heathens. Okay, he allowed us a grace period to return, to come back unto him. And as we're returning, we're seeing, that the Lord is confounding Esau, Edom, and his idols, man. Okay, these things are always overrated. Okay, it was always overrated, man. I said, even what we ain't seen, this nigga got overrated. Okay, and this weapon where he got, the Lord said, these are weapons of my indignation. Esau just borrowing, all right, tools from the Most High to perform his duty, man. It's the Most High weaponry, man. Okay, this is the Most High technology that he gave this nigga, man. So let's go here. Because the Lord's getting ready to pass over. Okay, in them chariots, man. The death angel, which is Yahweh Shai. All right, he's coming to judge, and he's going to pass over his elect and deliver them, man. Those that's covered by the blood of their sacrifice. Okay, that comes back to repentance, belief, and obedience under Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, Isaiah 31:4, it said, for thus have the Lord spoken unto me, like as a lion and a young lion roaring on his prey. When a multitude of shepherds call forth against him, he will not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. So shall the Lord of hosts come down to fight for Zion and for the hill thereof. And this is the Heavenly Father sending back Yahweh Shai. Okay, Yahweh Shai is going to be like a young lion in his strength. Okay, that has, destroyed his prey and now is indulging on that prey. You see, and when the shepherds come out, hey, he's not going to be startled. Okay, to run away. Okay, showing you that Yahweh Shai is coming back aggressive against these devils, man. He's coming directly to these devils, man. Because Esau gonna be a prey. See, Esau is used to, all right, being a predator. Okay, but at the return of Yahweh Shai, he's gonna be the prey. Okay, this nigga Yahweh Shai is gonna be getting busy with Esau, man. It's gonna be quick. Okay, but Yahushua is coming back with that aggression, man, like a young lion. Okay, it says he will not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. Okay, so there's nothing that Esau can do. Okay, to stop this judgment, man. Okay, to quell the aggression of Yahushua. There's nothing. He ain't got no power. Yahushua coming to show the devil true power, man, true dominance. Okay, and so shall the Lord of hosts come down, okay, to fight for Zion, the elect, and for the hill thereof. As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem, defending also he will deliver it, and passing over he will preserve it. Okay, so that's those chariots, man. That's Yahushua coming in these chariots, man. All right, to show Esau true power and these heathens, and to deliver his elect, man, as birds flying. Okay, he's going to pass over and preserve, all right, the hopeful elect. You see, verse 6, it says, turn ye unto him from whom the children of Israel have deeply revolted. Okay, so we're as a remnant that the Lord put the spirit on to turn back, because we was in rebellion. Before we came into the truth, we was in rebellion, man. All right, but the Lord, through grace and mercy, okay, this grace period allowed us to return back before the judgment. And that's the mercy of the Lord. Okay? And that's the mercy of the Lord, man. A grace period for us to return back and to be pleasing to our power before judgment went forth, man. You know, verse 7, it says, for in that day, every man shall cast away his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which your hands have made unto you for a sin. You know, and the Lord put the spirit on us to return from idolatry, man. Because there was a time when we idolized these things, man. We idolized athletes and celebrities and, you know, money and, okay, we idolize these things, certain lifestyles, cultures, and, okay, all these things are anti-Messiah and an idol. And we idolize these things, man. Okay, but the Lord put the spirit on us to return, you know, from those idols, man, to worship him and serve him. And that's why the more we serve Yahweh Shema Shai, man, the less I'm impressed with Esau, man, the less we should be impressed with this nigga, man, and everything that he's established, man. Okay? And you look at this nigga from a viewpoint of, you know, being, you know, when you're enchanted by this man's, okay, idolatry, man, yeah, this nigga looks like a god, like he's terrific. You know, like, wow, you doing all with this nigga, man. But as we serve our power, all right, we mature in the spirit, man. You know, we begin to look at this place with disgust and everything that this man established. This nigga, like I say, he's basic, mediocre as hell, man. Overrated. You see? Verse 8, it says, then shall the Assyrians fall with the sword, not of a mighty man. It said, and the sword, not of mean man, shall devour him, but he shall flee from the sword, and his young men, all right, shall be discomforted, man. Okay, because it's going to be Yahushua that's going to fully eradicate Esau, Edom, man, and his militaries of the earth, man. Okay, along with these other heathens, man, because they're going to be judged as well. Okay, it's going to be Yahushua is going to get their final blow. Okay, to Esau's power, man. Okay, at least, you know, they play both sides of these war where Yahushua coming to destroy both sides. Okay, they gonna matter what side you play. Nigga, the Most High gonna destroy all that shit. Okay, there ain't nothing impressive. Well, I'm gonna just play both sides, nigga. The Lord gonna destroy both sides. Okay, like he doing something great. Okay, it said the Syrian shall fall with the sword, not of a mighty man. Okay, and the sword not of mean man, because you had during this time the Assyrians, all right, military that came to besiege Judah. They were destroyed, all right, by a chariot. One chariot destroyed 185,000 of the Assyrian army, man. Okay, and they had to tuck tail. You see, but Yahushua is coming back in that chariot, man. Hey, to put down millions, tens of millions, man. Okay? Astronomical numbers when Yahushua come back, man. Okay, he said, but he shall flee from the sword, and his young men shall be discomfited. Okay? And he shall pass over to his stronghold for fear, and his princes shall be afraid of the ensign, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah, whose fire is in Zion, and his furnace in Jerusalem. Yeah. Okay? Yahweh Shah is coming to break down every stronghold, okay, of these devils, man. And his princes, okay, going into these top elites, shall be afraid. They're gonna be in them bunkers. Okay, I'm saying now this happened to the Assyrian military. The Lord shook their ass up, okay, by causing that angel to destroy 185,000 Assyrian soldiers, man, and this shook up the Assyrian Empire. They had to tuck tail. Okay, and when Yahushua come and bust up Babylon, aka Egypt, destroy the militaries of the earth, man. All right, these elites, man, what they gonna be, man? Gonna tuck tail. Okay, and they're gonna know that Israel has a power that's gonna defend them, man. Okay, and Esau ain't got no answer for that. Okay, you don't have an answer for the prophets. This word, man. You know, so that's the point. You know, just want to get into that. You know, Lord will, you brothers. All right, and you sister was edified once again. Want to give all praise on the glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua Bahashem, and Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the whole elect. Shalom.